think of the cluster B personality disorders as a spectrum. So at the top of the spectrum, you have the borderlines and the histrionics. In the middle, you have the narcissists. Then at the bottom of the spectrum, you have the antisocials, right? Those with antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. And ASPD is what you may commonly call sociopathy and or psychopathy. So the easiest way to distinguish between those in the cluster B is to use their empathy impairment. So a psychopath has less empathy than a sociopath, and a sociopath has less empathy than a narcissist, and a narcissist has less empathy than those that are on the borderline part of the spectrum. So you can use empathy impairment as a gauge. Now in this particular video, I'm more so going to be focusing on the bottom of the spectrum. So we're going to be talking about narcopathy. And this is where narcissism and antisocial personality disorder overlap. So know that you could be dealing with a narcissistic sociopath or a sociopathic narcissist or a psychopathic narcissist. Now, if we were to take a look at the DSM, and the DSM is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Illnesses. So this is what clinicians, so we're talking about psychologists and psychotherapists, use to diagnose individuals. And the DSM is governed by the APA. And the APA is the American Psychiatric Association. When we take a look at the diagnostic criteria for NPD, you will see where someone needs to meet 5 or more of the 9 traits that you see listed here in the DSM. And these 9 traits revolve around these 3 characteristics. So number 1 is their grandiosity. This is their false sense of superiority. Secondly, they need excessive amounts of attention and admiration. And thirdly, they are empathy impaired. So again, someone needs 5 or more of these traits to meet the clinical diagnoses. However, I want to make it abundantly clear to you that if you encounter someone with 1 or even 2 of these traits, then they are going to be a very dysfunctional individual. So do not wait until they get to 5. Now, there are some of you that are watching this video, or those of you that are listening to this audio, where the individual that you were entangled with met all 9 traits that you see listed here. And this means then that this person is overlapping with antisocial personality disorder. So you are dealing with a narcopath. So they are going to be very lawless, very malignant, very vindictive. Because a psychopath people or the sociopaths are really the people that would probably have to look up to see the Hawking scale. At that low vibration, they don't even have any shame. Because the cluster B is born out of shame. It is all shame-based consciousness. It is all born out of low self-esteem. When it comes to the psychopaths, they have to look up to see the Hawkins scale. And understand that the Hawkins scale, it doesn't have a top or a bottom. It doesn't end. Energy is a spectrum. Energy is never ending. So when I say that narcissists are rooted in their shame and they can't move past their pride, well, sociopaths don't have any shame. There is no limiter that is going to step in, because shame as an emotion, shame steps in and says, hey, you should not do that because you're going to harm another person. Because shame is felt about the self. And healthy shame, for example, states that I should not go out and harm another person because I'm going to feel shame. I'm going to feel bad about myself because I am someone that is harming other people. Healthy shame, folks, allows us to remember our humanity and how truly imperfect we are. But when you are dealing with pathological narcissist people, people that have the patterned behavior of narcissism, people that are pathologically entitled, people that have pathologically low self-esteem, these individuals do not have healthy shame. They're actually running from their shame. They're not really feeling their shame. So they're running from their shame, and at best they get to the level of pride, and pride cometh before the fall, so they fall right back down to shame. And this is the lowest vibration that someone can possibly be at. And this is why this is a type of psycho-spiritual arrested development. Know that you cannot love a narcissist, and a narcissist cannot love you back, because they do not have access to love, kindness, compassion, etc. Those are high vibration emotions, all the way up there in the 500s. Pathological narcissists cannot move past their pride. And this pride is their grandiosity. It is their false sense of superiority. So they believe that they are perfect, and perfect people do not need to change. They cannot see their own imperfection. And because perfect people do not need to change, then they will not grow. And this also means that they will want you to adjust yourself to their abuse, because they believe that abuse is acceptable behavior. So these individuals are stuck in the third dimension. And oftentimes they wake up in the first dimension, and at best they get to the third dimension. So they get to pride, and again, pride cometh before the fall, and they fall right back down to shame. You should be very mindful of individuals that are stuck in victim abuser consciousness, because any relationship that you get into with them will be a victim abuser type 1. So understand that at this low vibration, what we're talking about here is dictator energy. We're talking about master-slave energy. They believe that you are their minion. They want their foot on your neck. The narcissist wants to go out and cheat on you, and they want you to shut up and accept it. People often ask, what do pathological narcissists want? Pathological narcissists want your subservience. It is a common misconception to believe that narcissists want your love and empathy. They don't want your love. They don't have any use for it. What they want is your subservience. If you give a narcissist your empathy, they are going to weaponize it. And this is why oftentimes they pretend to be a wounded little dog. And this is so that you come over and help them. And as soon as you help them to resuscitate them, eventually you see when they gain their strength, they're going to turn around and bite you, because they do not like you. They believe that you are naive. And this is the mindset of people that are stuck in the third dimension. They do not have love to give. They do not have empathy to give. What they have to give is apathy. And these are very cold, reptilian-like individuals, because that is the level of consciousness that they are at. So understand that there are 8 billion people on this planet, and we do not all operate at the same level of consciousness. There are people that we use to symbolize enlightenment, like the Buddha, Krishna, Christ consciousness, and so on. And there are people that we use to represent the complete opposite of this: dictators, colonizers, etc. So it is important that you learn how to discern spirit. Discern the individual that is in front of you. Because someone could be smiling, but they have a butcher's knife behind their back. So understand that pathological narcissists do not have love to give, because they do not have access to those emotions. They do not have access to that level of consciousness. What they will give you instead is a love bomb. And love bombing is the first step in the narcissistic abuse cycle. Narcissists do not have love to give. They have manipulation to give. They have chaos to give. They have lies to give. They have connivery to give. They have hate to give. They have envy to give. They have revenge to give. That is what you get from someone that is stuck in the third dimension. And also, narcissists do not want your help. They want your subservience. Kings do not look for help from peasants. You are a peasant to a narcissist. There is no equality in the third dimension. There is only victims and abusers. Somebody must be up and somebody must be down. There is only masters and slaves in the third dimension. And this is why you must gain access to the fourth dimension, and you must get the courage to walk away and stay away, because you have no business in the third dimension. The third dimension is a place for victims and abusers. Nothing else. Nothing else can thrive in the third dimension at that low vibration besides victims and abusers. You cannot get into a loving, kind relationship with someone that is stuck at the bottom of the Hawkins scale. So it is important that you maintain your ascension by getting the courage to walk away and stay away. And if it is dead, what you do is bury it. And what I mean by that is you let go of the individuals in your life that do not serve you. So this could be a narcissistic intimate partner. This could be a narcissistic parent. It could be a narcissistic sibling, a narcissistic boss, a narcissistic coworker, etc. You'll only enter positive, healthy, blooming, growing relationships with those that are at the fourth dimension or higher, because those individuals have very positive emotions to give to you. They can pour into you and you can also pour into them. If you're pouring into a narcissist, you are pouring into a black hole. You are pouring into a void. You're pouring into someone that is lost in the sunken place, that is lost in the upside down. It is important that you maintain your frame and continue your ascension by getting the courage to walk away and stay away. Love is a losing game if you are entangled with a pathological narcissist. And that really is the message for today, kind folks. Ensure that you are liking these videos. Ensure that you're subscribed for more empowering content. Chica is the name. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.